Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pool,
And this is Senex.
and we are bringing you the next game in the FRB Grand Tournament. That's right, this is actually a game from the round of 8 between coLGanZi and ClashShew. How are you doing today, Senex?
I've definitely been better. Unfortunately, a little bit of the scheduling hiccup really bumming me out. However, being able to watch GanZi go against Shew is definitely a little ray of
Yeah,
sunshine in that GanZi spawning as the blue Terran in the bottom left-hand corner of 6M Shakuras Plateau, while ClashShew spawning as the red Protoss in the top right.
that's right, and this is going to be a totally awesome match. I hope that it ends up being a huge macro game, as this is kind of the map that definitely encourages that. And of course, we are doing FRB, so it's 6 mineral, 1 high yield gas. So that means that you need lots of bases everywhere. Hopefully, that's what these players do today.
Yeah, and a quick introduction to those not familiar with FRB who are just now tuning into the tournament. FRB means fewer resources per base, and the idea was created by Bear, and it basically means that every base has about 25%, in fact, not about, exactly 25% less money. However, there tend to be a lot more expansions on the map, or they're just put on a map where there's already a lot of expansion. Shakuras Plateau obviously being a very expansion-friendly map that encourages you to really spread out a lot more and go for less of a like 3-base deathball style and more of a kind of harass-oriented or very heavy macro play.
Yeah, and as you can see here, GanZi has not gotten his gas yet. He's at 14 supply, so he's either delaying gas or just going to go ahead and expand early, which of course is a result of both of both the metagame of StarCraft 2 and just the plain fact that it's an FRB game.
Yeah, ClashShew also deciding to delay his assimilator just a little bit. Right now, he dropped it down. It was about 15 supply, so not immediately picking that up. He is scouting out on the map, but unfortunately does not go to the appropriate position to find his opponent. So he's going to be just a hair delayed in figuring out where GanZi is at and what he's up to.
Yeah, indeed, and actually, yeah, GanZi has not decided to scout at all, so he's being real greedy here, not really worrying about what Shew's going for quite yet until he gets some units out here. Of course, he's getting his orbital command and saving up enough minerals where he's probably going to go for that fast expansion. Of course, the probe might get down here and may even deny it. Nope, I think it's going to be a little bit too slow, and it just goes ahead and makes sure that's dropped down and decides to run away.
Yeah, he's being chased away immediately by that Marine, but at the same time, we see the Nexus also being dropped down before the Cybernetics core. As soon as Shew knew that his opponent was going for a very fast expansion, he decided to just delay the construction of that tech building and instead get his own expansion as fast as possible.
Yes, indeed. So that basically means that Shew might be a little bit vulnerable here for a little bit. And in fact, if GanZi wanted to, he could probably even go for a bunker rush. Of course, I'm not sure if that's really what he's wanting to do. He still hasn't gotten his gas yet, though. So maybe he will go for a marine heavy build, or maybe he just will get, I don't know, maybe both of his gases at the same time. Yep, there's the barracks. So it's going to be a bio heavy build this game from our Terran player.
Yeah, he just moved out and dropped down 2 additional barracks. Still waiting on that gas, though. I definitely expect he'll be dropping that some point soon. He's really going to want the Marauders and upgrades that it allows him access to. The Cybernetics core obviously is finished with Warpgate research being chrono boosted out. ClashShew deciding to invest a little bit in that, which I really do like the decision of, because getting that Nexus so early made it so that he was a little bit behind on his tech, and now he just wants to catch up very quickly.
Yeah, indeed. So we do see GanZi dropping down both of his gases finally. So I'm going to go ahead and get some upgrades. Most likely we'll be getting Combat Shield and possibly Stim after, or either at the same time. Maybe dropping down an Engineering Bay. I think that would be a good idea for him. But we'll see what he does. Right now he's not actually putting any add-ons on these buildings. So
Yeah, still waiting on him to decide kind of on the tech path he wants to go for. He might be saving up for a factory as well, though as we can see, Shew also not really deciding on a particular tech path yet. He has a Cybernetics core down and just now dropping his robotics facility, so it looks like he's going into some potentially Immortal or Colossus play, both very good in FRB type maps where high-tech units can be very valuable so long as you keep them alive.
yeah, indeed, and we did see GanZi drop down that factory, as you did state earlier, as well as a tech lab, so he will be going, obviously, for Marine Tank Push, or maybe Marine Hellion. I don't think he'll do Marine Hellion, though. Most likely going to be a Marine Tank Push, and if he can get a good timing off on his opponent, he might be able to hit a really solid timing attack, especially before the robotics facility gets any good units out.
Yeah, we have seen some very oh no, the Stalker moving right into that huge group of Marines and being instantly wiped out. No scouting information, and indeed only a single pot shot on that one mule. That's what I was saying. We have seen some very scary kind of 1-1-1 type of play, though that doesn't quite seem to be what GanZi is going for right here. He instead has the starport dropping down, dropped the reactor as well, and is getting himself stim pack.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be some drop play here from GanZi. Guess he's not going to go for the tanks. Guess I was wrong on that one, guys. Sorry about that. But no big deal. We do see ClashShew putting out an observer right now. One is on the field, and he's actually making a second one. I like that decision just to make sure he's extra informed about what his opponent's going for, as well as safe against possibly a cloaked Banshee that might come into his base.
Yeah, and he's also dropping down the Twilight Council. Probably going to be going for Blink, either that or immediately into the High Templar tech, I predict would be the kind of two best ways for him to proceed with that. Though right now, he's going to kind of need to start paying attention to his army. Right now, there's 18 Marines on the field against just 4 Zealots, a Stalker, and 2 Sentries. So GanZi really starting to run away, particularly as all of these upgrades finish with the army advantage.
Yeah, we do see GanZi just chilling out with a lot of Marines, and actually, kind of interestingly enough, in StarCraft 2 games lately that I've been watching, you'll see Protoss players get a lot of bases and get their macro up really strong and almost play like Zerg, where they don't get a whole lot of units out. Instead, they just boost their economy. Once they're to about 3 bases or so, they really just start pushing out the units. So it looks like that's kind of the idea of what Shew is wanting to go for. Of course, he has a ton of Zealots as well as some Sentries, which will be okay as a hold at first, and of course he can add on units if he does need to.
This might be the perfect timing from GanZi, though. We saw the High Templar, Templar Archives, I should say, getting thrown down, but he's moving out right across the map. There's no way that Storm is going to be done in time. There's also no charge or anything on these Zealots, so right now, this army composition for Shew is just really not designed to deal with a lot of stim and combat shielded Marines. He was kind of looking at taking his third base, throwing down a pylon right there, but he definitely needs to abandon those plans, as in fact, a drop is loaded up, 2 medevacs moving right into his main.
Yes, indeed. Now, ClashShew does have 1 High Templar out. Of course, he doesn't have Storm. That's not even being researched. 1 Archon is out there, though, and as well as some Zealots. They are going to be able to do lots of damage to these Marines, but surprisingly enough, GanZi holding on, getting a few kills there, but he did lose most of that attack.
Yeah, a little bit of uncharacteristically clumsy play from GanZi. I definitely was expecting him to lift up all of those Marines and move them out once it was clear that their backs were against the wall. He is continuing this aggression, though, in the kind of space in between Shew's natural and third, moving in to just kill this pylon, make sure that there's no base, and at the same time, he's taking his own third base.
Now, GanZi is doing another drop here at the main base of Shew, was able to deny mining for just a little while, so getting some good economic and direct damage. Of course, he was cleaned up there, and ooh, actually, I think he lost a medevac right there, so that's a little bit of an unfortunate loss for GanZi. Of course, he is pushing up into the main ramp right now. There's only 1 sentry out. Did get the 3 force fields off, and these Zealots are going to go to town on these Marines. Of course, GanZi lifts up his Marines and is in the high ground now.
Yeah, very nice liftoff from him, keeping all those units alive. Also, he has 4 medevacs out for a pretty small number of Marines, meaning that like there's a lot of healing potential going on right there. Again, an excellent lift-up, keeping so many of those units alive and really just keeping the pressure on his opponent as his macro advantage continues to expand. It's 57 SCVs against 37 probes.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that though, but a medevac actually survived with 1 HP after surviving through a feedback. So really, really lucky medevac, I must say. Now it does look like GanZi's continuing his aggression, and I'm really not sure how I feel about this. Of course, if he can macro well, as he's doing right now, you'll be able to kill lots of Zealots, but these Archons and Sentries do trap some Marines. Of course, lifting off some of those Marines, doing an excellent job of his micro, and wow, he has actually managed to whittle down Shew's army so effectively.
Yeah, GanZi's micro really carrying the day for him right here.
Wow.
He's been able to be constantly moving away from his opponent's units. All of the melee of the Protoss army just completely ineffective. Those Archons and Zealots never really getting a chance to engage the Marines. And the lack of charge for Shew really, really crippling him in that game.
Wow, that was a crazy game. I'm so surprised that GanZi did so well with so many Marines against, like, the Marine killing units of Protoss.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that Shew would have been well served to invest in Storm at some point. As soon as he saw that initial attack was going to be held off, I really think that it would have paid off for him to have that. So
yeah, I completely agree with you. course, GanZi just being a total boss and taking his opponent off guard. I mean, his drops were so strong, he might have even been able to deny the Storm Tech if he had done good enough building snipes with those drops.
Yeah.
Alright,
But real
guys.
quick, before we go into game number two, just want to give our sponsors a
Yeah.
quick shout out, particularly one who is being a super total baller, which is Your.pro. They're helping us with a
Woo!
giveaway, which all of
Yeah.
you can get involved in. So basically, for the giveaway, you would go to Your.pro, make an account, and then tweet at us that account name and who you think is going to end up winning the overall tournament. You'll have a little
Yeah.
bit more information on that, obviously, as we get to the end of today's broadcast. And the Your.pro people they do a very interesting kind of online currency type thing where you can bet the currency on games of StarCraft 2 and stuff. And with the currency that you would get from winning this event, you would be able to invest in things like a Korean StarCraft account, Amazon.com, gift cards and stuff, and Amazon.com vouchers and GSL season pass. There we go. That was the last thing I was trying to think of. So yeah, really, really cool stuff available from there. All that you need to do is make an account, tweet at us who you think is going to win the tournament with the account name, and FRB Grand Tourney is the tweet.
Yeah, it's FRB Grand TOURNE, not or TRNEY. Sorry, not tournament. We weren't able to fit in all those words. Another shout out to our sponsors, Cybersports.tv. You guys are totally awesome. Everybody, you should check out that website. It's a great website for scheduling esports events, and just basically has like a Google Calendar of esports events that are going on. And we've been so grateful towards them and thankful to be partners with them in this tournament.
Absolutely. And real quick, because I'm getting corrected by our production staff just on the fly, link to your account in that tweet. Link to your profile in that tweet for the Your.pro giveaway. And so not just your name, but link to your account, and that will be what the kind of key part is for getting that next thing. Also, Peep Mode is another sponsor that I want to give a shout out to. The guy's been just amazingly helpful for both FRB and the StarCraft community in general. Peep Mode is a mod that gives you a whole bunch of new observation tools, and is also a great way to get like 7 or 8 people all together in a game, and you can be constantly playing like round robin style random matches, or the most experienced against the least experienced player. A whole bunch of really fun ways to play with a community of people rather than just doing random ladder matches. So huge shout out to Icarus and his mod Peep Mode.
Yes, indeed. And the last shout out that we do have is to Genesis Web Solutions, who designed this beautiful overlay that you see here. Excellent job. You should definitely check out that website. If you have any websites that you want developed, the guy does a really, really good job with his web development.
Alrighty, and on that note, I think we're moving into game number 2. GanZi up 1-0 against Shew, but can our Protoss hero pull it back? We'll see in just a moment.